This is Allie. Welcome.
Welcome to the Wake Coaching Podcast.
I'm Jeff.
This is Jeff.
I sure am. I
Wait,
always have been.
You should say it the way that it...
My name is Jeff. Like that?
There we go,
Like that?
yeah.
My name is Jeff. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Allie.
Yeah, you should follow us because we're really, we have a lot of really great things to say. Anyways. Speaking of
to
things
have
to
fun
say,
once in a while.
That's right. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about having patience in the unknown.
I don't have patience for that. No, but for real though, patience in the unknown is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me.
Oh my
okay?
gosh,
it's
it
like,
is.
It's like, you know what it is to you? It's like when we're eating and I'm cutting something
Oh.
up and it's like on the plate and you're like that's what it is to you.
Yeah.
Patience.
I
in the
literally just
unknown.
had like a
It's
visceral
Yeah,
response
it affected
to
you.
you
didn't it?
even explaining.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of times when you talk about just be patient. I feel like anyone
Yeah.
who tells you to just be patient in the unknown, it's clearly not an unknown season in their life, right? Just be patient. You're like, shut up, right? So sorry. You can clearly see I have a visceral response to this as well.
For sure.
Yeah, but let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
So patience.
So
the unknown.
we've had a lot of unknown kind of seasons lately in our
That's true.
life
Yes, we
where
have.
we're just really unsure of what will happen,
What will
like
come
how
of
things
what
will
will-
unfold, if something will come to fruition or if it won't. Like we've just had a lot of not being able to see the future. If it's, you have really thick fog and you're like, I should be able to see however far in the distance, I don't know, but I could maybe see 1 foot. Kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what we're talking about. Like
You know what?
seasons like that.
I honestly think that is a really, really, really fantastic illustration.
Mm-hmm.
Think about when you're driving in the fog. You're not looking around at everything around you. Like literally, I'm focusing on the one thing I can do right now,
Yeah.
the 10 feet in front of me that I can see. That's what I have to focus on because I can't see out there right now. And if I look too far, who knows what's in front? I might fall off a cliff. I might fall in a hole. I'm not sure. So just that really, slowing it way down. Obviously, you're moving slower
You have to,
because you don't know where you're going.
right?
Because it's unknown.
Yeah.
You have no idea at what pace you should go because you don't know how far you have to go. But also you're like, okay, I should slow down because I can only see so far.
Right. Okay. So we've been through a lot of these seasons lately with different things like of unknown. What are some of the things we've learned? So one is slow the pace down.
Slow the pace down.
So I actually was talking to my mom about this, and I love when you talk to someone who's having this real problem and you're like, I literally just lived through this 15 times. I actually can help. You know what I mean? I actually know what to say, something to say. And that's what I had told her. Her and my dad were in this place of like, oh, not sure what decision to make about some really big things. And so it was like, do we sell a house or do we not? Or like all these big decisions. And I was just put off all the decisions as long as you possibly can. When you're in this season of, I don't know where it's headed or what the destination is or what's next, like I can hardly see the next step. Sometimes we're pushing so hard to have clarity on anything that we're trying to make decisions just so we feel like something's in our control.
Yeah. It reminded me of a book called The Contrarian's Guide to Leadership by Stephen B. Sample. I read it 25 years ago. And it gave me this idea I'd never heard of before because oftentimes as a leader, you think type A, take control, win the hill, win the battle, let's go, rah, 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 right? Like that's the type of leader that wow, let's do this. But it was interesting because he was the president of USC. He'd worked for an engineering company for a lot of years. I think it was GE, actually, General Electric. I can't remember. But he had talked about this idea of the art of thinking gray. And I was like, what? Because I'm always black and white. It's one choice or the other. It's right or wrong. It's black and white. And he said, to your point, he said this. He said, so oftentimes in life, we make a decision before we have to, right? Like if it's Thursday and the deadline is next Tuesday, well, don't make the decision on Thursday. Like wait until the deadline because you have no idea the information you might gain over the weekend or the thought process or the conversation or something might totally change in the landscape of the decision you need to make by Tuesday. So don't make it on Thursday. If you don't need to make the decision until Tuesday, live in a space of being gray. Now, that's not easy.
That's one thing we've learned though. Putting off major decisions that you feel this pressure to make in anticipation of things that may be to come.
And you have no idea.
And it's like, if you have no idea, let it play out and let it play out a little bit longer and then let it play out a little bit longer. Like, I talked to my dad about making a giant decision and he's like, run the clock out. And I'm like, no, I don't like that idea.
It doesn't feel comfortable, right? Like, you wanna make a decision
clarity,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like the best advice that he had given me. And like, looking back at it, that time I spent running the clock out was so beneficial to me. And I ultimately made that decision, but just giving it more time, now I can see what happened in that time. And I would have missed out on that if I was too early.
And I think about, too, the idea of being patient in it and waiting as long as you can to make the decision. One thing that we often would do, like, everything's felt so high stakes for a while.
Yes,
It felt like if I make one misstep or make the wrong decision, everything's going to fall apart because it felt so high stakes. So for us, we're like, we just have to like just reduce the high stakes things feel. It's just a choice. Just make the choice. It had to do with business. It had to do with our relationship or with our children. That is something that we take very sacred.
more high stakes.
It's very high stakes. But like with our business, like ultimately, like, okay, let's just make a decision. Like, when we have to, and the outcome is the outcome.
Yeah.
We don't have to like make everything like this is a life or death decision. It's
Right.
really not.
It's not.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we got to get some perspective. And we have to know that if we make a wrong decision, like, that decision's not for a lifetime either.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
I had to talk to one of our kids about this. He was bawling because of a roommate change at
Yeah.
the house.
Yep.
And I told him, the only thing that's sure about life is that we are going to have changes
Yeah.
in life.
100%.
So I said, this is a great way to practice. And that actually helped him. He's such a logical thinker. It's really
is.
great.
He's like, oh,
But
okay.
yes, nothing's actually forever. Right. And so the decisions we make, we like think of it in terms of like, I'm going to take this new job. It's going to be forever.
But what if it's not the right job? What if there's another job? What if another job comes up in 3 months that could be better for me?
Right.
These are all the thoughts that go through our mind. It's like, just make a decision when you have to, right? And then it's like, okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I know what's in front of me. So based on the information I have and the timeline that's ahead of me, this is the decision I make.
Yeah. So one of the last things that I just had on my mind to talk about, just when it comes to like not having clarity in what the future holds, and sometimes things don't work out how we had hoped. And it feels like somewhat devastating, especially if we really felt like this was supposed to be the way it went. This is a long story. I don't even know if I can say it in a nutshell, but my first husband, Tyler, and I really felt like we were supposed to buy this house. I was like, this is a God thing, like the way it came together, and we're going to buy this house. And like, it was my dream house. And then the deal on it completely fell through, and I was just like devastated. And then it was this season of not knowing where we were going to live, and we had 2 little kids and we were homeless. And then ultimately we ended up buying that house. But like in the moment, in that time of like the unknown, and especially when it fell through, I was just devastated. And sometimes things look like they're so clearly supposed to happen. And we just become so sure about it. And then when it doesn't happen, we're just devastated.
We're shocked.
We're shocked. And we're like, I feel like I missed it. I feel like I missed God's voice, or I felt like that was my whole purpose or whatever. And there's like so much writing on that. And I've just had these times in life enough where I'm like, I've seen them come full circle and come back around way later at a time that was unexpected, at a time where I had released it. I was like, well, that's done. I guess that house wasn't supposed to be ours. Totally released it, and then came back around and got the house.
But also there's times where it doesn't happen. And then you look back and you're like, oh my God. Oh my gosh, thank God it didn't happen. Because if that would have, then wouldn't have happened. So it's like, once again, whether it does or it doesn't, ultimately,
it's good.
yeah.
Right? And I think that is honestly why I am so much more chill in seasons of unknown. So maybe this is just a message to rewind the tape of your life and look at the other times where you've really been in a place of not knowing like what the future holds, and look at how it turned out, especially if you're somebody who puts your life in God's hands. Like, he's faithful. And look at how he's been faithful to you, whether or not it's come back around or it didn't. And that was a blessing.
Yeah.
I think just looking back at your life and seeing that faithfulness of God gives you so much more peace in these times. And so I have seen it enough. Now we have some really big things where we're not really sure. And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. It's interesting, the whole idea. We might not know the future, but we know the one that holds the future. Like, we trust God in that, like, whatever comes our way, like good, bad, ugly, like we've been through maybe some of the worst things you could imagine in life, in losing our spouses and the challenges of that. And so we've been through that. We've seen that. We've grown from that, seen the incredible pain of it, but also the incredible blessing of it. And so I think that just gives you a perspective of, like, you know what, ultimately, God's got it all in control. I don't need to know the future. I just need to know him and that he knows the future, and just trust him in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best, if you hear anything today, the best thing about being patient in the unknown is it's a lot easier to be patient when you know the one who knows the unknown. And I think that's the key to it. So
Yeah, I love that. Thanks for joining the Weight Coaching Podcast today.
have a great day. So glad you're here.